Hello and welcome to another Software and Internet Monthly Market Report brought to you by Sanford Advisors. August was actually a surprisingly busy month. $35.4 billion invested in M&A in August in software, 143 transactions, which we'll talk about in the context of other months later, and a 5.7 times median revenue multiple. So some notable deals, some actually quite large transactions for the month. And noticing the multiples is actually the most interesting thing here. So they've come down pretty considerably. Vista acquired Avalara for 8.8 times in an $8.4 billion transaction. Global Payments acquired EVO for 6.7 times. Thoma Bravo acquired Ping at 8.4 times, and Bridgeport acquired Computer Science Services for 4.8 times. So large transactions, but these transactions like a year ago or even 6 months ago would be happening, north of 10 times. So you can kind of see how the market has really adjusted over the last kind of 6 months or so. In terms of deal volume, it was a better month than what we've seen for the most of the rest of the year. So it was up a little bit, but I think more of an anomaly than a new trend, I would think. So we're kind of expecting for the rest of the year things to kind of even out at about an average of about 120 deals a month, which would be very consistent with the pre-COVID levels. What does that mean for the whole year and where we're shaping up? Well, in terms of dollars deployed into software M&A, like massively increasing over last year. So, last year was a huge record at 282 billion. We're already on track to do 514 billion this year. The number of deals is down, not as much as it was to 2020 or 2019 levels, but it is down from the peak that we saw last year. Not surprisingly there. Just given what's going on, especially in the mid-market where, some of those smaller transactions are not taking place as frequently as they were last year. In terms of the spread on valuations, this has continued to kind of stay pretty tight. You can see the 25th percentile there for the second quarter, or third quarter, sorry, was 1.2 times, and the 75th percentile was 8 times. So this is, kind of continued to trend down, obviously, and the gap between the top and the bottom has continued to narrow. And this is not that surprising, and it's something that we've been kind of highlighting for a while now, and expect it to kind of continue over the next few quarters here as those mega transactions that were happening at 20, 30, 40 times revenue are not really taking place anymore. And what does that mean in terms of overall multiples? Well, non-SaaS multiples have continued to kind of hold pretty well at 4.9 times average, and the SaaS multiples is where it's really come down to an average of 6.7 times year to date. So not too surprising. I would think we probably finish around these levels for the year when everything's said and done. On the VC side of stuff, a pretty decent month, 5.9 billion invested in August, 480 transactions, 4.5 million is the average deal size, so pretty consistent with most months. Some large transactions like Juro raised 500 million, Guild raised 265 million. So there's been some, larger later stage transactions. So money is still being deployed. I would just say it's being, continues to be more selective on the VC side than it's been, obviously, over the course of the pandemic. And what does that mean? So, we'll be up in terms of the number of deals done if we continue at this run rate for the year, and down in terms of the dollar volume, but not down that much. So pretty consistent with last year. So it'll be interesting to see if this actually pans out because we did have a relatively slow summer. So it'll be interesting to see if how we close out in September through December. Do those months kind of pick up a little bit, or if not, obviously we'll be much lower than we were for 2021. Anyway, if you have any questions around the market on the VC side of stuff or the M&A side, feel free to reach out. We've got a lot more information on the market trends, and obviously with our conversations with lots of buyers in the market, we really have an ear to the ground as to where valuations are right now, and would love to chat. So feel free to reach out anytime. And otherwise, we will talk to you next month. Thanks.